Well, there's no fundamental difference. There is a variation, of course. In the north, it's being pursued with sort of single-mindedness because they would like to ensure that the world does not see a repeat of some of the incidents that happened in the last decade of the 20th century in places like Cambodia and Rwanda. So there is that thing. But in the developing world, the South as you called it, there is still a sort of fear that this is in pursuit of an agenda by the developed countries to continue to assert themselves, because most of the countries in the developing world have emerged from long periods of colonialism, and therefore they have this, I think, well justified suspicion of the agenda being pursued by the North. But I would say that at the beginning of the 21st century, when the proposal for this was put up at the 2005 World Summit, there was a better understanding even in the developing countries that in the 21st century, the international community cannot stand by and allow the sort of genocide, ethnic cleansing, and crimes against humanity to continue. So there is a better understanding of it. But as I said, while there are no fundamental differences, suspicions remain. So it will take some time to sort of dilute those suspicions, wear them down. And that, I think, is the effort that most of us are making at the moment. Well, I think the first requirement for United Nations peacekeeping operations to be more effective is that there should be sincerity of purpose in the international community in political terms, because most peacekeeping operations today suffer from the lack of political backing or the inadequacy of political backing, and that is the main sort of deficiency in peacekeeping operations today. And the second major factor in this is that the developed world, which has the capability, is staying away from UN peacekeeping operations. I think their preference is for, NATO-sponsored operations or multinational operations. And to that extent, the United Nations is deprived of some of the better capabilities that the world has. So that's a serious, and these are the countries which take the decisions, unfortunately. They take the decisions on UN peacekeeping, but keep away from UN peacekeeping. And that, I think, is beginning to affect the overall, shall we say, milieu within which UN peacekeeping is being conducted. But hopefully that will change. In fact, not hopefully, unless that changes, I cannot see too much of a future for UN peacekeeping operations. I think the ASEAN Regional Forum has a very significant role to play, because I think it is probably the only real regional organization in Asia that can play a useful role in this context in the foreseeable future. The others have not yet matched up to the expectations, both in terms of coordination and understanding. And maybe particularly, I mean, being from South Asia, I would say for our own region, for instance, it's a non-starter at the moment, despite all the efforts. So to that extent, the ASEAN Regional Forum has a significant role to play, and it can play a role. But obviously, the countries of the region and the others associated with the ASEAN Regional Forum will need to break out of the mold of the past, where we're all seeking sort of as I think is often called the ASEAN way of doing things. I think we'll have to graduate from that to a more assertive, shall we say, role in regional and global politics if the region has to really contribute to the pursuit of the R2P, the responsibility to protect agenda. Because I think there's better understanding. It will take some time for the suspicions and distrust to be sort of dispelled. But I think we will get there, I'm sure, and the ASEAN Regional Forum will take its place in the global arena.